When I was getting married almost 10 years ago, I didn't have a lot of girlfriends who could give me advice on how to tackle marriage. I was the oldest out of my friend group and I was the first to get married, so there wasn't a lot of input or insight or wisdom there. Didn't have these real talks with my mother either, and I was the oldest of six. So I never really had an older sibling or ever had an older sibling that was able to help me transition from being single to being a wife. So I want to do that for you today. I put a lot of content from my married girlies, but I definitely want to start a series for my single girlies because I know in 2025, it is so hard to date right now. So just for content, me and my husband, again, have been married for July will make us 10 years. I met him at the age of 14. We did not get together or become official until I turned 18, and he has been at my hip since. We met in church and we got together. He proposed. I was married the summer that I was turning 23. So I got married super young. I will be 33 this August. Now, I didn't have a lot of relationship, so to speak, help or relationship experience only because I was very sheltered as a child. My mom always kept us in church. We knew the word. All we knew was home, church, and school. So I did not have a lot of experience when it comes to relationship. However, I did have little play boyfriends here and there, but nothing too crazy. I could say that my husband, when we got together, when we were boyfriend and girlfriend, he was my first serious pub relationship. Right. So I didn't have a lot of experience there. However, I did have what you would call daddy issues. Right. So my mother had me with my biological father, and then they separated, and then she got remarried to her now husband. Me and her now husband didn't have the greatest relationship. I didn't feel like there was ever a bond of father and daughter there or connection there. He had been in my life since I was 5 years old, but for whatever reason, we didn't always have a great relationship. So I always considered myself fatherless as far as having a male figure in my life, right? My mother had 5 other children together. We all lived in that same house. I did not get to know my biological father till I turned 18, and that is because I went looking for him. So that's just some background context regarding where I come from and how I can relate to the topic, right? So being that I did not have a lot of relationship experience, one, number two, I had daddy issues. There was a lot of factors that could have definitely had me in a situation where I was seeking men for validation, where I was picking the wrong men. Now, growing up, and I think this is only God, I always told myself that I was never going to be the product of my environment, right? I was never going to be what everyone else was doing around me. So growing up in middle school and high school, again, I was very sheltered. However, I saw things and I had people around me that experienced certain things as well. And I always put in my mind that I never wanted to be that girl that got pregnant in high school, that girl that had a bunch of kids and different baby fathers. No judgment to those who have gone through that, but that is just something personally I did not want to experience. My mom put in fear in my heart at a very young age only because she had me out of wedlock. And back in the 90s, and being a Haitian, I'm a Haitian American. My mom came here as an immigrant in her late teens. I know she got a lot of hate, a lot of flack for the fact that she had a child out of wedlock. So I know I didn't want that for me. So when I was settling in and getting to the age of dating my husband, there were some things that were non-negotiables. There were things that I knew I didn't want in a man. I certainly did not want what I saw regarding the males in my life. As far as an example, I didn't want to date anyone that looked or remotely can give me the vibes of my stepfather or my biological father, if that makes sense. So I was never what you would call a pick-me. I was never boy crazy. I was never looking for a man to validate who I was. Did I have self-confidence issues? Absolutely. Did I have self-confidence? Did I lack self-awareness sometimes? Yeah. Was I always confident? No. Was I always bold? No. However, I knew what I did not want in a partner. And yes, there could have been times where I met someone and they were not who they say they were, and I could have easily went down that lane with them. However, I just had this understanding of who I didn't want to be with because of what I've experienced. So that is just to say that if you are a young lady who is quote unquote had daddy issues, or you did not have a male in your life, your dating, it has to be intentional. You have to be very careful that you don't date someone that's going to feed the part of you that you needed from your dad just so you can have someone around, because that person could be feeding, they could be love bombing you, they could be telling you all the things you needed to hear as a little girl from your father. However, they're toxic, they're abusive, they stop you from elevating. So you definitely don't want to get with someone or get into relations with someone who's just feeding that little girl inside of you. So you definitely want to heal before you go out into the dating pool, because broken people will attract broken people. So if you are broken inside, you have different parts of your life that is still not healed, you still have that little girl inside of you that is yearning for love, that is seeking for what their daddy couldn't give them, then you are going to attract men who's going to abuse that little girl inside of you. So you have to be intentional about healing before you go into dating. If you are in a season where you are dating right now and you're being intentional and you want to be married, I definitely want you to like, subscribe, and share this video, because I want all my single girlies to get this message. I want all my single girlies to understand what is happening in their life right now before they become a bride, before they become a wife. So if this topic resonates with you, please share this with your sister, your friend, anyone that is around you that is also single, that is in the season where they're being intentional about dating. Please get this video to them, share it, comment down below what struggles you are currently having now, being that you are intentionally dating. Now, I want you to reflect about a time where you were on a date with a man and like he was just making you feel really good. Like he is wooing you, he's pulling out the chair for you, he is doing all the things of chivalry, opening the doors for you, he's paying for dinners and all of that. I know that feeling felt really good, right? Being in the space where someone was intentional about making you feel good made you feel good. And that's going to make you feel good because as a young girl, you never had a father to do that. You never had an older brother. You never had an uncle. Because it's not just fathers, right? That could be a male figure. You could have other male figures in your life. But in this case, you never had someone to come out of their way to make you feel nice, to make you feel loved, to make you feel beautiful. So you find a man that does all these things in the beginning. So you latch onto that because that feeling is a feeling you've never experienced before. So you latch onto that. However, going down the line and time starts to pass, the person starts to become who they really are, because in the beginning they're doing all of that to impress you, they're doing all of that to reel you in. So once they have reeled you in and realized that all these things are things that you are smitten by, that you're overjoyed about, they become their true selves start to come out. Their true selves, their true toxic traits start to reveal themselves. The manipulators that they are start to come out. And because you are so addicted to the initial feeling that he made you feel on the first date, the second date, the third date, it is now difficult for you to walk away from a relationship that is no longer serving you. Not because you don't know it's not serving you. I started to see that we're not oblivious as women when a relationship does not serve us any longer. We just love how that person made us feel in the very beginning or at a certain moment. And because we're not used to having that validation, we're not used to having that feeling, we want to latch onto it, right? Because we are unhealed. We are still unhealed in that area. So anytime a man comes and he just tickles that little part of that little girl inside of you, you're going to stay. Regardless of how toxic the relationship is, you find yourself staying. So I want you to reflect about a time where you either was on a date with a man or have been talking to a man for a while, or even dating and was in a relationship with this man. And I want you to reflect on, did you make a decision about staying in this relationship or staying to entertain this man after the first red flag? Did you stay? Did you say, you know what? I'm tired of being single. I'm tired of being lonely. I'm going to stick with this one. Oh, or you said to yourself, oh, what he did wasn't that bad. Or what he did wasn't that serious. Did you ask yourself that? Did you tell yourself that when he showed you who he really was? When he showed you that red flag, did you say, you know what? I'm going to just pretend like I didn't see that. Only because I don't want to be lonely or single. Now, if you ever find yourself thinking those thoughts and asking yourself and talking to yourself regarding that, then you got some self-reflecting to do, right? Because if he's showing you who he is, and we know these are things that you don't like and they are considered red flags to you, why do you stay? For the sake of saying you have a boyfriend, or for the sake of saying you have someone and you're not lonely? No. So are you afraid to be lonely? Ask yourself that. Are you afraid to be alone? Do you have an issue with sitting with yourself? Do you have an issue with healing those inner parts of you that need healing before you can become someone's girlfriend or become someone's wife? Because if you do not heal from those inner parts of you that is hurting, the inner daughter of you, the inner daughter within you, the inner girl that is hurting, if you have parts of you that are not healed, marriage, let's just say you go as far as marriage is going to expose those parts. They're not going to heal. Ladies, it is time that we stop begging for men to be in our lives. It is time that we stop seeking male validation. It is time that we heal within ourselves. We heal our inner girl, that little girl inside of you. It's time that you heal that. And it is time that we stop looking at men to make us feel good. Okay, it is time, it is time, it is time. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe and share this video. Send it to your daughter, send it to your friends, send it to anyone you know that is single right now looking to be married. This is the first episode of the single series that I am launching. So if you want notifications when I drop the second video, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I drop the next video. For watching. See you on the next video.